Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock, your Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia, coming to you tonight for a little live tutorial featuring some of the new products in the new catalog that was just released on Tuesday. I have to think it's Thursday already. So I don't know if some of you have gotten the catalog yet, but if you haven't, you can always contact me if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'd be happy to be your demonstrator and help you get a catalog. But let me move my screens for a minute. So the catalog this year is a bit different than it has been in years past. It's still got all the same great stuff, but it's kind of arranged a little bit differently. So the first section is step-by-step crafting, and this is really all about our kits. We have new kits that come out every month, plus our Paper Pumpkin subscription, and all of our kits are available on our website. So when you see the QR code in the catalog, just point your phone camera at that, and that will take you right to like the kit section on the online store, and you could look at all the kits that we currently have available. The next section is all about quick and easy options. So kits are great for beginners. Quick and easy are for maybe you're pressed for time, space. You don't want to invest in a lot of tools, but you want to have a little, hobby or just be creative. This is great for people that are just looking for something quick, easy, a way to make multiples in minutes. So it talks about all the different things. So it talks about the top 10 tools you need without going too far, but a paper snip, some adhesive, obviously some ink spots, a couple of blocks, a simple stamp set, a punch or two, blank envelopes and cards, and of course something to clean your stamps with, and of course your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, me, or whoever your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is. But you start by picking some cards and envelopes. So I picked the Sunny Spring cards and envelopes. I'm actually not going to use them tonight because I had to do something a little bit different for a challenge I'm in. But you get 5 card bases and 5 envelopes. So they're really pretty. The envelopes are decorated. The card bases are also decorated on both sides. So you're kind of starting out ahead of the game. Then you can add an ephemera pack. And we have some where they have sayings, something with like different symbols, some that are just blank labels. And then the one I'm using tonight is all different florals. So these are great when you have to do something quick, like my second project tonight, because I needed to get these done and out. So I wanted something very quick and easy. So again, section 2 is really for people who want quick and easy, don't want to invest a lot of money in tools, or maybe they're not sure that stamping and card making or memory keeping is for them. So they just kind of want to dabble, their feet. And one of the best features is over here on page 22. There are, I think, like 12 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22 sketch designs that you can use over and over and over to create really anything that you want. So go ahead and take a look at that. And then again, just some easy stamp sets, a lot about memory keeping. We're getting back into the memory keeping, which is kind of where we were when we first came out back in the 90s. And then the last section is creativity your way. And this is for our really avid crafters, kind of like myself, who just, want all the bells and whistles and want all the pretty things and, want all the tools. I just got this paper today. I haven't even opened it yet, but isn't that pretty? So that's kind of where our catalog is. So tonight I'm doing kind of like a mix and match. So the first stamp set I wanted to show you, it literally just came today. I'm so excited. It's called Fields in Bloom. As soon as I saw this stamp set, I knew that I wanted to get this. I just loved how pretty it was. Sometimes they can just be so pretty in their simplicity. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. And look at the card we're going to make. And again, because I am so in love with the new in colors, we're going to use that Shy Shamrock and the Pretty in Pink. And then just add a little bit of our Balmy Blue for those clouds. And a little tiny strip of that glitter paper. So that is going to be our card number 1. And then I needed to make these little boxes. So I had received one when I went to Onstage as part of a 3D swap. And this is from Veronica Inouye from Hawaii. She gave this out. There's like a little tiny, like individually wrapped cookie in here. And I thought, well, I need to put something in my workshop packets that are going out tomorrow. So I kind of figured out how to make it, and I did. And I'm putting in some candy in there. Now, obviously, mine is not as involved as hers because I needed to do these quickly today. I needed to make a bunch very quickly, and these went together really so quickly. So we're going to do these, and I've used one of those little flowers from that ephemera pack just to kind of add a little bit of an embellishment to this little box. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start our first card, well, our only card tonight, with the Shy Shamrock card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to put one on the inside. Okay, and then I've got another piece here, and that's what we're going to use to stamp, and we're going to stamp a happy birthday sentiment on our card. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our Shy Shamrock ink pad, and I'm going to stamp the happy birthday, and then we're going to stamp our floral base. Let me make sure this is up where it should be. Okay. We got a happy birthday. There we go. I'll put that off to the side. I've got a piece of our Pretty in Pink glimmer paper. Now, this is going to move this out of the way for 1 second. So this is our card base, and we've got this great big stamp here, which is like the bottom. This is a 2-step stamp. So when your stamp is bigger than your ink pad, it's actually much easier to kind of just put your ink pad on top of your stamp. And this, I believe, is a size F block. This is an F. Oh, sorry, E block. E block. So I am going to, F is for the big, background stamps. All right, so I'm going to stick this on there. Right now, I want to make sure that it's going to adhere. So this I actually use with my Stamparatus. I'm just going to kind of press on my block and give it all some nice, good pressure. And then I'm going to lift it up. And I've got my first image. Now we're going to come back with the second half of this stamp. And this is where the magic is going to happen. I put this over here somewhere so I wouldn't lose it. And somehow I lost it. Okay, I'm going to put that on there. Okay, and we're going to take our Pretty in Pink. Where did that Pretty in Pink go? Here it is. I was like, where did my Pretty in Pink go? Okay, same thing. Because this image is much bigger than our ink pad, we are going to take our ink pad, and I got so much stuff going on here. I really need to come down here and clean. Maybe that will be on tomorrow's to-do list. All right, let's go ahead and close this up. Okay, now we're going to line this image up, and these flowers are going to fit in these open spaces, and just watch the magic happen because it's really pretty. All right, so I'm going to try to keep it in the frame as much as I can. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, again, I'm going to take my little hockey puck pusher and just make sure I get good pressure on there. Lift it straight up. How pretty is that? I just think that is so pretty. Let's come in here with some blue clouds. I've got some balmy blue. We're going to use some balmy blue for the clouds. Now for this, I'm going to kind of stamp off. So let me put piece of scrap paper under there. It's easy to clean the glass, but then sometimes the ink transfers. So I just like to kind of make sure, okay, that I can not get it on the glass part. I don't have to worry about getting it on everything else, but that ink, you don't have to worry about that ink transfer. All right, so now we've got our happy birthday, which I can't pick up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got our card parts. Let's go ahead and start building our card. Where did I put it? Oh, it fell. I'm like, where did I put it? It fell on the ground. That's why I couldn't find it. Do you ever have one of those days? It's been one of those days. Thank goodness tomorrow is Friday. How's your week going? If you're tuning in on replay, go ahead and let me know that you're here on replay and where you're watching from. Okay, let's go ahead and add this to the front of our card. What colors would you use for this stamp set? What colors would you use for the stems and leaves? And what color would you use for the flowers? I picked the green and the pink because I just think they look pretty together. And you know that I love my greens. I'm going to actually kind of offset this. Kind of went a little crazy there. I'm just going to kind of offset this a little bit. Kind of like that. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit off center, but that's okay. That's the look I was going for. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals. And we're going to put that on our card front. So this was, again, Field of Flowers, or I'm sorry, Fields in Bloom. This was new. It is in the Creativity Your Way section in the catalog. And there we have just a pretty birthday card. So what do you think? Let me know what you think of this card. I just, like I said, I just love this stamp set. As soon as I saw it, whenever I eyeball something like multiple times, I'm like, I need to get that set. So I'm really happy with that. I can't wait to use that one. I'm going to do a couple of Mother's Day cards with this. I think that'll be pretty for Mother's Day. All right, let's go and work on our little box. I like this design because it uses just one sheet of 6x6 paper. So I just like when I can do that. Okay, so we've got our 6x6 paper, and I think I wanted to use this as the outside. So I'm going to mark this at 1 3/4, okay, and then 4 1/4. Okay, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees to the right. It doesn't matter if you go right or left. And I'm going to score it at 1 inch, at 1 3/4 of an inch, at 3 1/2 inches, and at 4 1/4 inches. Okay, and that is it. Those are our score lines and our fold lines. Okay, so now let's go ahead. I'm going to fold all of these fold lines. I'm going to burnish them lightly because when you use designer series paper, it doesn't hold up as well as cardstock to really tough pressure. So just lightly burnish it. You don't have to go crazy. It'll take the crease really well rather. Okay, so got that, and we've got that. Okay. We're also going to need, I punched this, I think this is a 1 1/2 inch circle. So you can use either a die or a punch. Again, I was pressed for time and I had to make multiples. So I just said, I'm just going to do the punch tonight. So sometimes when I'm pressed for time, I just go with the punch. So now you'll notice here, you've got the two corners that have the 1 inch and the 3/4 inch score lines. We are going to cut away this whole corner. So we're going to cut that whole corner section out. Okay. So you're going to cut through that first 1 inch score line down to that 1 3/4 inch score line. Okay, now I also like to take off just a little tiny sliver here just to make this a little bit shorter. And it's like maybe 1/8 of an inch I'm cutting off. And then I just kind of like to round the corners. If you have a corner rounder, you can use a corner rounder. Sometimes I find this is just as easy. Now I want to cut these other flaps, these 1 3/4 inch flaps. We're going to cut it on the diagonal from here down to this score line. Now you can certainly measure this with a ruler and make your line super straight. I'm eyeballing. I am just eyeballing everything today. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to cut from the edge down to that score line. Okay. Same thing, and do the same thing on this side. From the edge up to that score line. Okay, and again, from the outer edge up to that score line. All right, on the diagonal. Okay, so now you should have a shape that looks something like this. Kind of looks like a little fancy perfume bottle, doesn't it? All right, now we need to create those creases. So I want to, because this is my inside, I'm going to fold my outside. I'm going to take this score line and bring it to this score line, creating that diagonal fold. Again, you can certainly measure this all out and do it with, on your paper trimmer. I have learned that it's much quicker just to do it this way, and it works just as well. So like I said, I needed to make multiples quickly. So I went for the path of least resistance and just did it this way. Okay, again, same thing. Bring these two score lines together to form that little diagonal or that triangle in there and get that diagonal fold in there. Okay, and same thing on that last section. We're going to bring those two score lines together. Okay, and okay, now before we put it together, let's do some stamping. So I'm using 2 stamps from the Spotlight on Nature stamp set. One is like a crosshatch stamp, and I'm actually going to stamp off. I wanted to stamp off. It's like, where'd my scrap paper go? So I'm going to ink this up full strength with our Petunia Pop ink. I'm going to stamp it off, and then I'm going to stamp it on my circle. And I'm going to come in with our thanks stamp, and this we're going to stamp full strength. Okay, we're just going to do thanks with that little crosshatch. And after we assemble our box, we're going to go ahead and add. Actually, we can do that now. Let's go add one of our flowers from our ephemera pack. I have to be careful because they come out really easily. Now let's use this little one here. It's got a little bit of Petunia Pop in it, a little bit of pretty pink. We're going to use a glue dot for this. I think I put them away. The one time I put something away that I'm actually going to need again. All right, let's add. I'm just going to add a little glue dot to the back of this flower, and we're just going to put that right there. Okay, so see how quick and easy it is to add just a little embellishment using that little ephemera pack. So these are going to be great for quick and easy embellishments. All right, now we're going to put our box together. I'm just going to fold these in. There's no adhesive needed. It's going to sort of, one thing I forgot to do because we need to have it hold together. I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal just to the bottom of my circle, okay? Because that's how our box is going to close. All right, so I'm going to put this on the front, right front and center, okay? And again, just our bottom because we want to tuck that flap in between there and underneath our circle. So I'm just going to fold this up. I'm going to add a little treat. I'm adding 3 Lifesavers. Because, it's getting to the time of year where you really can't mail chocolate because it's going to melt in the mail. So, unfortunately, warmer weather workshops get the hard candy. And I did Werther's Originals last time, so I had to do something different. Okay, I'm going to put these in, and I'm going to close it up. And there we have our little box. Isn't that cute? So that's it. These were just 2 quick and easy projects tonight because I got to get my workshop packages all, bundled up and ready to be mailed out tomorrow. And that's it for me. Have a great weekend. I will be back here next week. And as I said, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like to get information on the new catalog and new products, go ahead and just leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy stamping.